race of our VX Gaming A Championship here at SARCO. On the rain means this is the final round. With me in the commentary box, I do have Stephen Darge. Stephen, welcome. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Dylan. Well, thanks. You?
Well, I did miss last week's racing. The commentary, unfortunately, I was off the field. Yeah, that voice just breaking up there. So I'm trying to get that out of speaking. But I'm all good and back. So the guys that are on here, just give those thumbs up so we can get you racing. It is finals time, as we know. The format for this evening is still 2 races of 20 minutes. We will tier, then we will move into the alpha tier. So extremely exciting racing happening this evening. As we get that lobby started, I do want to just send some thank yous to our sponsors, VX Gaming. So Abby and Stephen from VX Gaming, thank you so much for your contribution. Without your contribution, this would not have been possible. As well to Ashley from NASCAR Executive IT, the sponsors of our new website. If you guys have not seen that yet, you can go to www.sarcoracing.co.za, and as well as Deliver Your Parcel, the official courier of SARCO now. The prizes that will be handed out for this season will be delivered by Deliver Your Parcel. Just to Stephen, there's been 8 weeks of absolutely fantastic racing fun. Thank you for just jumping in the hot seat with us, getting your commentary groove on, so to say, and having some fun with us. Also to our guests, Ashley, Theo, Jacques, Carl, and Gillis, thank you so much for joining us as well. It's always a
It's a fantastic track as far as I'm concerned. One of California's premier racing circuits, located, of course, in the Sonoma Valley. That is wine country in California, and makes for excellent racing in some very, very pretty parts of the world. And it's not unlike, the vista around the track is not unlike Willow Springs. It is a bit on the dry side where we are at this particular track. And the layout also with fast sweeping corners and some twisty bits as well, and it makes it very, very similar to Willow Springs in the same kind of spirit, the same kind of feel. But of course Sonoma is a heck of a lot more challenging. A lot of people will tell you that Willow Springs is more challenging, but I'm of the opinion that Sonoma is the one that tests your mettle a bit more. Of course, Sonoma, not only a racing circuit, it is also a drag strip. And a lot of famous drag races have happened here. A lot of good racing series happen here as well. Sonoma famously used to host a round of the World Touring Car Championship. Unfortunately, it doesn't do that anymore, but there are still some fantastic races that happen, including, notably, the American 24 Hours of Lemons. No, not the American 24 Hours of Le Mans, but the 24 Hours of Lemons. Famously, that is a race where you've got to buy a car and get it going for less than $1,000 US, get it on the track and see if it can last for the full 24 hours. This is where it goes down. Tonight, of course, these are not lemons on the track. These are some of Group A's most famous racing cars. What you're looking at right now is the Mercedes 190E 2.5 16-valve engine pedaled by Cosworth, and a fantastic motor car. One of the most well-known touring cars, I think, of all time, and it is a heck of a quick car as well. Top speed of 300 kilometers an hour, making 340 horsepower. But here's the real stinker: it weighs less than a ton. That car you're looking at right there, out weighing less than a ton. What you're seeing is the qualifying round at the moment, the last 30 seconds of the qualifying round in the Bravo tier, and the man on screen right now other than Andrew. I beg your pardon, that's your Bmw. I must be a moron. There's no excuse for it. I must be a moron. That is Johan Bmw putting in some pretty good qualifying time, landing himself in 4th place at the top in the colours that the car is perhaps most well known for, those Sonax colours. That is Peter, racing alongside teammate Marius in Team BRM number 1. And that is your qualifying done. The last of the guys are going to be out there putting in some times. Here is the other car featured in tonight's racing. That is Brandon Hills in the Bmw E30 M3.
That's
also phenomenal.
So guys, please just let me know if you're able to hear me on the stream. Not sure what has jumped out, but everything according to the levels that I'm seeing should all be correct. So please guys, just drop your message on the YouTube or Facebook, and let's see whether we have that sorted. That's so strange, Stephen, is that every time you think that everything is ready, there's just 1 or 2 little niggles that happen. So apologies to everyone.
Well, this is the nature of online racing. Sometimes things do get a little bit messy. Iron coming in slowly. That is the end of the qualifying session. And the guys will be coming out shortly for the main race. But here is your starting grid. First place, Andrew the Horn Dog. He will be leading up the grid with a very quick time, 1 minute 44 seconds. Robert takes up second place with a 1:45.5. And in third it is Ryan with a 1:45.9. So just 0.04 of a second separating second and third. Peter takes up spot number 4. Brandon's in number 5. Johan is in 6th place. Andrew takes up the 7th spot on the grid. Tyler takes it in 8th place. Number 9 is Richard. Number 10 is Dr. Phil, one and only Dr. Phil. Down the grid a little bit. Ed takes up spot number 11. Hugh is in number 12. Terry makes number 13. And Marius is at the bottom of the grid in place number 14.
Yeah, it does seem that Hugh, Terry and Marius weren't able to get a lap in. So let's hope that they're able to fight their way back in this race. So guys, I've just connected and reconnected. Please, not sure what's happening with the sound, is that it was all 100% earlier on in the day when we were doing the tests. So please just let me know if it has been fixed. We will appreciate your feedback.
Let's take you through the grid now. See what the drivers are seeing.
See, Werner, he's joined us on Facebook. Werner, if you go to just search SARCO Esports on YouTube, you will find it. So we're waiting for green lights. Just jump to 6th place for us then, please. And the Hornmark hits away. Great start there from Johan VDV. He managed to get himself just about 3 places on that.
Oh, wow.
That's a BMW spinning in the background
Here is
there.
trouble back there. Let's see who was
Not
involved.
sure
I'm not
what
sure
happened
who's
there.
involved in that. Another one. Wow.
So, not a very good start here for the Bravo tier.
Oh no. There's Dr. Phil finding himself facing the wrong direction in traffic, moving down the order already. Gun VDV also far down the order. And there's Ryan, the 3rd place entrance. Wow. That car sustained some pretty serious damage. I can see it is missing its hood, it's missing its rear bumper, it is missing its boot lid and its spoiler. And that is of course the visual damage that we can see. That front bumper is also very loose. There will be some serious mechanical damage. Oh no, there's somebody else who's coming off as well. That's Andrew. Ryan's going to have to take that car straight back to the pits. Amazingly, the brake lights still work. Testament to BMW's engineering or the game's engineering. We'll let you decide. Let's head back up to the action right at the top of the grid. There is Andrew, the horn dog. Seems to have got well clear of all of the serious crashes that happened further down the grid. But it's not far behind him. There is Peter. He's moved up from 4th up to 2nd and 1.5 seconds behind Andrew in 1st. At this point in time, less than 5 seconds separate the top 6 drivers. There is Brandon Dos Santos in 6th place. You see a lot of traffic at the moment, and he will be aching to get past there. That the front of that car has sustained some damage as well, and there will likely be some mechanical damage. So he is going to have to watch very, very carefully. When he pushes that car, it might come back to bite him. Carlos Scott finds himself in 4th position. Yellow and white Mercedes. And his teammate, Robert, directly ahead of him. So at this point in time, it is a 3-4 on the standings at the moment for Majestic Racing. Looking a bit further down the order, Dr. Phil has managed to recover and come from the bottom of the grid after that rather disastrous start for a number of drivers. He's moved all the way up to number 8. Hugh Boucher finds himself in 9th place. Fire coming from the back of that 190E. Really is a very good looking car. Down at the bottom there is poor Ryan limping along. So here's the important thing to remember with racing here, that one pit stop is mandatory. So what that means, that is a pit stop. There we go. That is Ryan going into the pits. So all drivers,
Guys, I'm not sure whether the sound has been corrected. Please just let me know.
all of the drivers are going to have to make one pit stop during the race. There we go. You can see a new hood having been put on there straight away. So that appears to have been a very brief pit stop, and has left with some rather interesting visuals. A misfitting bonnet, a misfitting boot lid. So not sure why Ryan has decided to not have that damage repaired. Nonetheless, he will likely make another pit stop. There is a chance that he will make another pit stop. He's perhaps seeing, wow, big slide. Is he going to hold it? No, unfortunately not. And hitting the track limits quite seriously. That would have no doubt caused some more damage to that car. And yet another reason to head back into the pits to get that damage repaired. We'll have to see whether he makes that decision. Otherwise, he may well find himself at the bottom of the grid for the remainder of the race, which would be sad considering that he qualified in third. It's a very good time of 1 minute 45. As you can see at the moment, back up at the top of the grid, there is Andrew having a good race so far, 4 laps in, with about 13 minutes and 35 seconds remaining now. Pressure's still on him though. A battle for first.
Just jump to fourth and sixth. Fourth and fifth, sorry.
Another battle coming out here between Brandon and Marius. Two famous German marks against each other. That is Mercedes versus BMW. We'll have to see whether Marius can close that gap of about 1.5 seconds at this point. We'll jump on board with Marius and see what he's seeing. Up the big sweeping hill into tight right-hander. It's a bit of a disconcerting right-hander, that one, because it is of course on top of a hill, which means you've got a blind exit downhill coming out of that corner. Interesting cornering strategy there that may have caught him off guard a bit. Marius trying as best as he can to try and close that gap, which is still sitting more or less between 1.3 and 1.5 seconds behind. Now it is now 2 seconds. Oh no, that is not a BMW. That was Robert. He's dropping down the order. He must have had an off. It's a pity because and Brandon, I beg your pardon, even Ryan were looking very good earlier. Has also dropped down the order, making now Majestic Racing in 5th and 6th place. So you can see that gap is starting to open now between fantastic overtake there from Robert, trying to regain that position. And it seems that Marius is going to have some competition from Tyler. We'll no doubt be looking to close that gap of just 0.05 of a second at this point. hear the motors of these cars screaming nicely. And if you look, you can see the rev counter at the bottom of the screen there, giving you a good indication that these motors love to rev. They go 9,500 RPM from that 2.5 litre Cosworth Fettled motor. RS dropping down a bit. Let's return to the top of the order, where we can see now Andrew is opening that gap. He's trying to make himself more comfortable at top. No doubt much to the chagrin of Peter, who finds himself in second. Under 10 minutes remaining now. I beg your pardon. Peter is going to have to pull out all the stops if he is going to close that gap.
So Stephen, I just want to know, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Right, guys, on the stream, please just let me know if you challenges have been fixed. We had to just disconnect and reconnect. Please just give us a message to say, yes, you can hear me. Oh, there's Sarge going off. As he coming back and down that hill. On a very good place for him to walk on
In a bit of off-roading. That is not a BMW SUV, that is a BMW sports car. That's not the new X7, that is a historic BMW sports car at that. So, let's see, he may well still be suffering from that damage incurred from a couple of offs that he's had. Visual damage still there, which is a good indicator that there will still be mechanical damage going a bit wide, but holding it coming over that rumble strip. The big gap there, you can see 1 minute and 33 seconds between Sarge, Ryan and Andrew the Horn Dog up in first.
Steve, sorry to cut in there, can you hear me?
But you loud and clear.
Excellent, excellent. So I believe we're having some technical difficulties tonight, and Dylan just asked me to come and help you out.
Good to hear from you, Ashley. Trust you're doing well.
I'm well, thanks, and you? And it looks like we've got a fantastic race on our hands here with the Horn Dog in the lead, followed by Peter B. So yeah, I'm just catching up with you guys now, and yeah, it looks like the Horn Dog is in a commanding lead. So everything going well for him so far.
Appears like it. 2.5 seconds. It has dropped a little bit. It was 3.5 just now. So it seems that Peter might be applying that petrol that I was talking about earlier to try and close it, with the clock ticking towards 7 minutes remaining in the first of these two heats. Bravo tier.
So Daniel, I just wanted to know, is that you can hear me and Dylan speaking? There's the one that you put through earlier saying it's patchy when he speaks. I just wanted to know, is it clear? Can you hear me?
So if the viewers out there on YouTube can just basically, or Facebook, just indicate if you can hear Dylan clearly. We really appreciate that.
As much as we have Dylan barking in our ears, we want to know whether those out there in the world can hear him more than we can. So, here is your top three order for the moment. It is Andrew up in first. There is Peter, and behind him, with quite a big gap there between second and third, that is Brandon Dos Santos in the orange M3. Orange, yellow? Amber?
It's a yellow. It is a yellow BMW, and yeah, we're doing really well for this type of racing. He's as you said, riding the BMW tonight, which I have been noticing are a lot quicker around here, especially in the tighter sections. We did some practice earlier, and Durkee in the Alpha tiers was showing us, or showing good pace, shall I say, up in the practice this evening. So he'll be probably hoping for a good race and showing how it's done in the BMW.
Yeah, absolutely. This Beamer, of course, not as fast as Mercedes in a straight line. Some 7 or 8 kilometers slower.
That's correct.
It does weigh less. That is an important consideration. It does weigh 20 kilograms less. It does also make 20 horsepower less. But here's the key factor. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, both the M3 and the Mercedes DTM, the 190E, are a dead heat at 5.19 seconds. So it shows you combination of weight, a little bit less power, makes a big difference in the 0 to 100 standings, which on a track like this is of course very, very important. Excellent overtaking move there from Brandon. Lapping, I think, I'm not sure who that is offhand.
I think that was you. It could possibly be you. He's circulating in the 11th position at the moment.
Seems like you is a bit further back. A little bit of damage
okay.
there. Oh, that was a bit of a twitch.
Test now. Guys, honestly, I have no idea what's changed. Considering all the settings and everything are the same as Thursday, it's not like anybody comes in here and plays around with the settings, so it's just so bizarre. I've disconnected, reconnected, reapplied the settings, so hopefully it's clear. And let me know if you can hear me, if the volume's right. Otherwise, we'll have to get someone to help us for the alpha tip.
Well,
so there was.
While he's trying to sort out his wow, oh no, that is horrible from ouch, and that was a connection in the wall. Poor Hugh. That is still 3 minutes left. If he gets that car home, he can at least get some points on the board.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate spin there, and he goes wide again. So he's not having a very good race. And you see the front runners coming through the horn dog, and I think it was Bmw that were lapping him. So yeah, he's not having a really good race. Can we go? Can we move up to the middle of the field, Stephen? Is he?
Let's have a look and see what's going on here between 4th and 5th. Between Marius. Ooh, that's not the best of moves, jumping in the way of a faster car.
So this is Marius and Richard having a battle. I believe they're good mates and on and off the track. So they're having a really good tussle here. And Richard seems to be on the back of Marius. Let's see if he'll be able to take the inside line here. He goes to the outside as Marius goes defensive. Marius just gets a good drive off that corner, and that will help ease the pressure.
Let's see if we can go on board. There we go. Giving you a good idea of the pressure, no doubt, that Marius will be feeling as we come into what will be the last lap.
So Marius just taking a easy racing line. Richard seems to be all over the show. So I wonder if he's just battling a little bit with tyre weights. This track is quite demanding on the tyres, so it's quite possible that he's cooked them Marius and sort of realised, okay, we're coming to the end of the race, one more race left. Let's bring the car home, and we can start in a good position, in 5th position, and yeah, we're setting up for the next race.
I just hope that the guys for the next round just learn from the start, give each other a little bit more space there. But I think what was happening is that It looked like a little bit of a few lag bubbles, and that just starts compounding the issue as the guys started going down. Guys, I'm hoping that the sound is now fixed. I've disconnected everything, reconnected, reassigned, replugged in, reset. Just let me know.
So Dylan, I've just jumped onto the YouTube stream and I can still hear that there is a sound issue. It's very jittery. So yeah, that's unfortunate. It sounds like more like a bandwidth issue. So perhaps what you could do is just for the next race is maybe get the router restart and see if that'll help. So we are heading through the last corners of this Group B, or sorry, it's Group A, Bravo tier. I'm getting confused like I did in the previous race. So if you're going to shoot the front, I think the horn dog should be coming out of the lines shortly.
So it looks like Stephen might have disconnected. We don't have him up on our screen.
Right.
And he is controlling the camera, so lots of technical issues. This is not what we wanted for the last race of the season.
Absolutely, and I think it's more down to the internet. The internet's been a problem today. But hopefully we'll be able to get that all sorted before the next race. So as we watch the final corner there.
It's a little bit of that corner there.
And Morris is able to hold on to that fourth position. So a good race by him and a good strong finish with is it Richard in Bernard Racing, followed by Andrew, then Robert in 7th, Tyler in 8th, Dr. Phil in 9th position. We have Johan VDD in 10th, 11th Hugh Boucher in 12th position. Is that Greg? I think it's Greg Campbell. And then in 13th, Ron. So Dylan, maybe you can just get somebody to invite me into the lobby and then I can assist with the directing.
That would be great.
Start a rolling start.
Yeah. Brandon, are you gonna start a...
So guys, we're just checking to see whether we can get Stephen Darge back. Otherwise, we'll just invite Ashley in, and Ashley can take over that director's role.
That'll also help me.
Oh man. really did not do that the right way round.
Awesome. I've just received your invitation. Thanks, Dylan.
Okay, so once Ashley is in the lobby, there he is there. We can make him the race director.
Okay.
Ashley, are you able to hear the guys in the lobby? Or have they gone to the chat party?
I can't hear anything at the moment. Let me just hook up my other headset, but you might get a little feedback. They have gone to a chat lobby. Just remember to turn off the qualifying.
Yep. Oh, that was the wrong button. Okay, so here we go back into round number 2. And still don't understand how I have the scratchiness. That's absolutely blowing my mind.
Yeah, this is quite annoying. But as I say, maybe just give your router a restart, Dylan.
But then
Would you be able to?
everything will go down.
No, right. Yo. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The sync has happened, and the drivers are just pulling away, and they'll be just lining up for their formation lap, getting all in order. So if you're quite new to this, we'll just explain it quickly. So whoever finishes, whatever position they finish in the first race, they start in the second race. So they'll make their way around the track and carefully get into position. And there's Brandon DeSantos in third position. making sure that those tires are warm. You don't want to be caught out with cold tires, especially on this track with all the twists and turns. But Brandon will have a slight advantage, I reckon, on the start. It's a bit lighter than the cars are in front of him. So I'm expecting a good start from him overall. So the horn dog will start backing up the pack now, getting everybody into order, communicating with with all the drivers. He starts slowing it down. So everybody backs up around the last corner. If you just shoot ahead, see the horn dog, he'll be counting down as he crosses the line, and they're on their way. And cameraman Tim, if you can just give us a better camera view, yeah. Relatively clean start by all of them so far. And that's the beauty of the rolling start. Just allows the drivers to easily get away without too many incidents. But we'll have Andrew, who has just spun off the horn dog, and he's dropping way down the field. He's right down in 11th position now. So he just got onto the lower pedal a bit too hard, and that spun the car around. And unfortunately that's dropped him way back into 11th position, so he's got his race cut out for him this evening.
And he'll be able to come fighting through the field as Hugh goes off down into turn number 6. Very, very tricky corner that.
Oh, Hugh, and I think who was that? That's Greg Campbell, so he's also gone off on that tricky left-hander. So we go back to the front of the field. A tight battle between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. So I'm getting feedback. And a great tussle here between Marius, Richard. Again, as like we've seen in the first race, pressurizing Marius, and the two almost get together there as they head down for the second or third lap, should I say. Side by side, almost 3 wide there, and Richard managed to get ahead of Marius. So he's now gone up into 3rd position. Oh, and those two get together and they got into the wall. That's Marius, unfortunately, come together with Andrew. Oh, that's unfortunate because he was doing so well. So all sorts of drama. So a good battle going on here between Tyler and the horn dog. The horn dog coming from behind after that spin in the first lap. And he takes the inside line, and it looks like, well, Tyler didn't really give much of a fight there. So he now goes into 5th position. And he's a man on the charge at the moment. Next one on his target is Robert. So Robert will see the horn dog approaching him at a rapid speed. And he'll be wondering if he should go defensive or just let the horn dog pass and race his own race. He's got Richard in front of him to catch. yeah, fantastic drive by him. And I think he was just held up in the first race by Morris, and you thought, okay, well, in this next race, you'll just apply pressure right from the beginning while the tyres are still getting up to temperature, and it was able to make that pass. So a close battle is about to start here. We're starting to brew between Peter B and Brandon DeSantos, who's had an excellent evening this evening, been very consistent. It would appear that way. As I was saying earlier in the race, that the only guy in the Alpha tier that's going to be riding the BMW tonight is Quicksilver, and that's Darge. And his times were not far off the front runners. Oh, and as you say that, he gets a bit sideways, Brandon, but manages to catch it. So a good recovery there. And maybe I should just pen off him for a bit, so I don't apply my commentator's curse. That's true. So yeah, as I was saying, Darge was setting some blistering times, and he's definitely going to be someone to watch this evening in the Alpha tier race this evening.
So guys, I hope that
and I'm looking forward to that race. I've put some practicing this evening, and I am off the pace about 3-4 seconds. So I got my work cut out this evening to try to keep up with the big boys ahead. So just watching the Horn Dog now. He's managed to close the gap on Richard, and he's closing him at a rapid rate. And we'll see him shortly. Yep, on the back of Richard there, going through that tight section. Oh. So they're going to the little chicane sort of thing, sort of corner, should I say. And the Horn Dog gets a much better drive out there, and he takes the inner side line for the next corner, and that puts him back into third, and it looks like Richard's gone a bit wide, unfortunately. No, but that was some good racing all around, even though Richard did go off there. Absolutely. So now, because of that little battle between the Horn Dog and Richard, that's allowed Robert to close the gap on Richard, so he'll start applying pressure now. Richard will be a little wiser, and I'm sure he'll be riding a little bit more defensive. So yeah, we have Hugh and is it Marius? Have a nice tussle, the two teammates. Whoa! Okay, so there was a bit of a glitch. And you go slightly wide there, but gets a better exit.
Actually,
And
one of those split times
yes.
are the positions on the side. We're not seeing those, so we're just not too sure where everybody is placed at the moment.
Okay, that's interesting. Let me see what's going on. Is that better?
There we go. That's what we're looking for.
Sorry. My apologies, viewers. So Mario's car's looking a bit worse for wear, and he's got you all over him. These two having a fantastic battle. As well as Richard and Robert here, still within a second apart. So this track's not very kind on the cameraman, that's for sure. There's a lot of close-ups. And that's the horn dog now catching Brandon. So he's managed to come all the way from 11th position and drifting their car through the corners, making it look easy. So with 6 minutes left on the clock, he'll be closing in on the BMW, and I'm sure Brandon must be looking in his mirrors now as it comes behind a back marker. That's Greg. That's fortunately just got in the way there a bit, but sees him and lets him by. And that just helped Brandon just to release the pressure a bit. But Andrew will be watching the clock, and he knows he's got enough time. He's got enough time to catch him. So let's see what he can do. This track is definitely one of the tricky tracks of the season. A lot of ups and uphills and downhills, and fast sliding corners. So if you could just have a clean race and nurse your car, you quite easily can finish up. So we're watching the front leader, Peter B, who's managed to pull himself a 7-second gap over Brandon. Bit of damage on the front there, so we're not sure what happened. But at least he has a...
Just let me know if you're able to hear me, because talk about playing with the system and using the tools to your advantage.
I can hear you perfectly, Dylan.
That is fantastic, which means that the guys on the stream should hear me, but they might be hearing just a little bit of an echo, which will be coming from your side there. Unless it's now on my side, which means I need to turn this off.
Well, I'm not sure how they will be hearing you from my side.
And now it should be sorted.
Excellent, excellent. So as I was saying, we got just 3.5 minutes left, and Brandon He's 6 seconds behind the front leader who we're watching here, PDB. And he'll have the Horn Dog, who's sitting 3 seconds behind Brandon. Catching up, it looks like Brandon has managed to drive around here without sliding around too much and causing him to slow down. So he's having a nice clean race so far, although his car doesn't really say so.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing that later on with Darge sliding that BMW, and I do think that it looks a lot more exciting.
Absolutely. So I'm just going down to Tyler here in 7th place, and he's on the behind his teammate Robert. These two have been having a fantastic battle this whole season. Not only are they teammates, they're also neighbors, and I think they're related somehow.
I think they're brother-in-laws.
Is that right? So family rivalry, yeah.
Isn't family rivalries always a good thing, right?
Oh, and who was that? Was that the Horn Dog who spun it?
Coming down to turn number 6. Oh my goodness.
That is unlucky. So it's dropped him all the way to 8th position, and he was doing so well right up to 3rd. And that means that Richard has got his position back, the 3rd position back again. And Johan VDV, who had a terrible first race, is now in the 4th position.
Yeah, that's actually great to see Johan VDV really being able to come back, get himself further up there. It's just so unfortunate that the guys that get stuck in the middle of the field in their qualifying generally get caught up in the traffic, and it just destroys the race. But great to see that he was able to get through there, and even just looking at those lap times is that he is currently going quicker than Richard, so he could actually still get another place.
Yeah, I'm just looking, he's actually closing that gap really quickly. If I also want to go on board with him, just have a look more or less whereabout he is. And that's Richard right in front of him there. So that gap almost down to 1 second. But with 30 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be very tough to get past him. So PDP will probably be looking at the clock with Nassim only 15 seconds left, and those nerves will probably be fluttering. So I think this is going to be the final lap as he comes through the last corner for the very last time.
Absolute great drive there by Peter Brunt. Really, really great to see. That we normally would see the Horn Dog winning, but we did know that he didn't quite have the preparation done for this race. Both himself and Andrew, you can see down in 11th place, Andrew Ambrosioni. And coming through the last couple of sections now into turn number 11 goes Richard Berner with Johan VDV right behind him in 4th place.
So a good end to the race there for Johan. And Robert manages to keep ahead of Tyler and finishes in 5th position, so he gets the bragging rights tonight.
I'm sure he'll be very happy with that.
Hugh coming home in 6th position, followed by the Horn Dog. And then Tyler Scott in 8th position. Behind him, Morris, good recovery to 9th. And here comes Dr. Philip Mayer finishing in 10th position. Andrew Ambacur in a solid 11th position. And Terry...
Andrew did say that he was on an endurance ride this afternoon and had to drive home 3 hours. As he got home, he literally jumped onto his PlayStation to come and race with us. But absolutely great to see that he had joined us. So, Andrew, thank you so much for that. We do appreciate you racing, even though those results were quite exactly what I'm sure you wanted them. But here are the final results. Peter Brandt, he comes home in first place with Brandon DeSantos in second. Richard Berner, he's in third place with Johan VDB in fourth. Robert finishes fifth. Q Boucher is sixth. The Horn Dog, Andrew Horn in seventh place. Tyler Scott is eighth. Marius Jacobs in ninth. Philip Mayer, he's in 10th place. Andrew Brojoni in 11th. Terry Wolford, he's in 12th, with Ryan in 13th and Greg Campbell in 14th position. So, guys, we have got the invites. So we'll just jump into the lobby. Ashley, if you could just get Peter, Brandon, Richard into the lobby with us, as well as Andrew Horn. Let's just have a chat with him while we jump to the Alpha tier.
How's it?
Dylan needs to.
Okay, Richard, we'll be with you shortly. It's how I roll. I mean, yeah, sorry, it's how I roll. Yes, guys, I have crazy, making plans here. Okay, Richard, Brandon, you here, Brandon? Yeah. Just gotta get Peter in. Okay, fine, don't worry. Okay, you guys ready?
So, guys, as you can see, we got the SARCO picture up. Is that I'm now rerouting my sound through an alternative play.
No, to be quite honest, it was a lack of not knowing which line to really take to get fastest. But wait, hold on. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear him fine, Dylan.
Yeah, I think it's your side, Dylan. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody else can hear me, but yeah, the line wasn't of choice. It was just looking for the fastest line and cutting in where I can. Yeah. I can hear the other guys fine. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Perfect, no problem.
Yeah. So
Weird.
No. Also, but it was good fun. It was great last event, and it was great to be part of it. Enjoyed it. Thanks for the invites, guys. It was good racing. Thanks.
Yeah, it was. It was a good series, this one, I think.
Yeah. Well done, guys. Guys, can you hear me? Dylan, can you hear me?
I can hear Ash, no problem.
Okay, well, Brendan, you had a fantastic race there, a good solid second. Can you tell us a little bit more what happened?
Race 2, I was just trying to keep up with Bmw. After a couple of laps or so, I started making too many mistakes. I was like, nah, I'm quite far from the rest of the field, so I decided to let off a bit and just keep consistent and just try to keep it to the end.
Well, that was a good race, and well done on keeping that second position. And then the Horn Dog, what happened in the second round? You had a fantastic first race, and then just threw it away in the second.
Don't change setups between the two races. Rule number one. Yeah, I changed setups, and it bit me. It was just lack of practice, lack of everything.
So you went from there's not much setup to do. So you just went from the loose setup to a stable setup, or stable setup to loose setup?
Other way around.
Okay. So your first race was a stable setup. So okay. So now I know what you did. Thanks.
That loose. I think the conditions changed as well, because the thing just felt like it fell away a whole lot quicker. But yeah, it's a really tricky track. I think the Alpha race with Marius and the Ford's going to be unbelievable, because the way that that car changes over a race distance, I think he's going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Although he was quickest in the practice, but the tires.
We lost Ash.
So we lost Ash, but guys, you see I'm back. Man, oh man, hey. I needed that little SARCO logo. He had to be there, because that's where my sound is coming through. So guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry I wasn't part of that, the interview process, but thank you so much for joining us. Let's go check out what those Alpha guys are doing.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dylan.
Cool. So, guys, as we wait for the Alpha guys to get going, I just got to get the invite. Let's just see whether they have made me the race director, broadcaster. Apologies. And can it get going? So once again, guys, apologies for all the wonderful technical difficulties that we're having. We've had an absolute fantastic season. We now come to the last race, and it seems like all our electronics just fail on us, and we seem to be swerving to make alternative arrangements.
Well, Dylan, can you hear me? I'm sure it's just, the end of the year gremlins creeping in.
So the other thing, Ash, is what I've realized is that Stephen Darge hasn't been able to get back, so we don't have a director. So you might need to make me the director, please.
That's fine. I can direct. I'll help you. It's not a problem.
Okay, then we'll just have to ask Christopher to please just give us those settings so that we can get going, because unfortunately I cannot hear what's happening on the racetrack at the moment.
Sure, I'll give those instructions.
So, guys, while we wait for those instructions, let's just get up the current points for the Alpha tier so that you're able to see what we're dealing with, because it is going to be an absolute crack of a race. And the reason being, you can see right at the top, we have Christopher Radloff, 297 points, but 5 points behind him is Marius, who is in his Ford Cosworth. Jake's 10 points behind Marius. So 15 points separates first, second, and third. This is going to be an absolute crack of a race. In terms of fourth place, Carrot is pretty safe there by himself in fourth. So he's not going to be challenged by anyone. You can see Ashley, he is currently in fifth. But then we have Alexander, our Norwegian international, 9 points away that he could move himself up. Good night, Moshiri. I see you're going to bed. Have a fantastic sleep, and I will see you later. In terms of team points, the Green Mambas, they have secured this with Ducati Racing. Very, very close. The two drivers there are taking on Silverback Racing. That is Morris on his own. So Morris has just about been able to get the same amount of drivers' points as Ducati.
Yeah, it's been some fantastic driving this season by Morris. Managed to keep hold of that Sierra, which is a wild animal, to say the least, when it comes down to the tight corners. It's just too much power, and I've tried to drive that car around the track, and it's just almost impossible. And he's done a fantastic job. So hats off to him. The only guy in this field who's taken on that Cosworth, and he's tamed the beast.
Yeah, he did say that right in the beginning of the season that he didn't want to drive what everybody else was driving. He wanted to mix it up, and boy, oh boy, has he been able to mix it up.
Yeah, we've seen some very close racing. If you just go back to the previous race on how him, Jakes, and Mr. Flat Out. It's such a fantastic
Mr. Flat
race.
Out himself.
Yeah. We are referring to Christopher. And I'm sure we're going to see another fantastic race between those three drivers tonight. And hopefully Gerard will give those guys a good run for their money. And let's not count out Durkee in the BMW. He's going to be applying pressure to those guys as well.
So guys, please, I just need to know that on the stream, if you are there, you are watching, please just let us know. Are you hearing us clearly? As I have said, that there is no solution to the current equipment that I had. Everything was set up, and I am doing a very roundabout way. So just hope that you are able to hear me.
Applying pressure to those guys. Dylan, I've just done a quick YouTube check and I can hear you loud and clear.
That is fantastic. Boop, boop, boop. Now I just like to enjoy the racing instead of. It feels like I missed a whole of the Bobbit here.
You did.
Literally,
You did.
I missed all the racing.
You did. So sorry about that, guys. But one thing about technology, we can go back and watch the replay.
Correct. And if I, oh my gosh, the amount of changes and checks, and eventually I thought, well, hold on, I have another way. So don't do sending me messages. Come on, guys.
Oh, jeez. What was that?
So that was Harold going to number one. Just on the inside, there's a little wall there. And that little wall, clearly, that's what it does if you hit it.
Well, that was a sensational roll.
I'm so glad that we got that. I will definitely clip that and I'll send it to him and say, just for you.
That's definitely one of those coffin moments.
He hit those tires on the way through. Ouch. The other thing, actually, which is quite interesting for me, is that I'm not hearing the cars. I can see the sound, but I'm not hearing the cars. So I might just open one ear here, and maybe I can just hear.
Well, welcome to my world. I don't get to hear the cars either, unfortunately. Otherwise, we get too much feedback from the PlayStation.
Ah, got you.
So we still haven't seen a time yet, and there's only 1 minute left on the clock.
But, and you can see Mario stuck behind Steven. Mario's trying to get that Cosworth around him. So that's definitely going to impact him. And one of the green numbers at the back there, Steven getting very well out of the way there. I think not to impact any of the guys. Let's see, Jakes, he put the fastest time, 141.6. Mario's 142.1. Christopher, 142.2. I'm sure that Morris would want to get himself in front of those two Mercedes-Benzes, get himself ahead, and literally block them for the majority of the race.
Yeah, I think on that last lap he had a bit of traffic, so now he's got a bit of a clear track, and he's got Christopher right behind him, who's going to be battling to get a decent time, because Marius, although is quick on the straights through the corners, Christopher will be a little bit slightly quicker. Yes, sideways. That's fantastic shot. And Christopher's probably not enjoying this, but Marius realizes, yeah, he's got out the way, and that'll allow Christopher to give us a fantastic slide around that corner.
Yeah, coming out of turn 7A. So 7 is actually part of 2's parts, because this Sonoma National is essentially the WTCC layout, which is used in real life. We're here in Project Cars 2, we call it Sonoma National. And we go through turns number 8 into 8A, go straight into 9, and then we hit the little 10, and then this little curve. And you can see that Christopher going a much later entry into that, where we saw Richard Berner nice and tight on the inside there. Absolutely fantastic.
So he now goes to pole position, a 300th of a second behind, 310, sorry, behind Jakes. So and that was actually due to Marius just giving him the track position there. Marius realized that he was slowing Christopher down and just, I guess, politely gave him the right of way. So Durkee up into 4th position. So he had a very good run there as well, as we expected. That BMW is quick on the circuit.
On the surface on the circuit.
The surface on the circuit. So look at that first sector with Jakes and Christopher. Identical times.
Incredible. 22 seconds flat.
So not much between those two drivers. You probably find Jakes just made a slight mistake on that last lap. That's putting him to second. But these two teammates will be fighting neck and neck, but giving each other enough space. And that's the sync we've been waiting for.
Yep. Let's just jump down to 6th place just so we can see the majority of the field going through there. Oh, Alex, a little bit slow off the line there. But Christopher, he's away. Jake's being squeezed on the outside. It's about 4 wide in the background there. Hope that the guys are going to be aware that it'll slow up the hill. And number 2, a little touch of the cars there. And we get.
That was Marshall that went off there. He came together. I think it was with. I don't recognize who that is. Yeah.
So that's another race for Marshall in the Formula Renaults, is that he went to got knocked straight up the back of Alex, and unfortunately he had to retire. So I'm sure Marshall is going to be a little bit frustrated here this evening, having been knocked once again. But that just seems to be one of the things that happens, is that you get a little bit of bad luck, and that bad luck just continues as Jakes gets a little bit sideways coming out of turn and number 7.
So these three having a fantastic battle out in front, with Marius pressure rising. Jakes, he's trying to get past through these early stages of the race, knowing that the longer that he stays behind Jakes, less chance he has of putting any pressure on Christopher, who's managed to open up a bit of a gap now between these two as they come to the last corner, and they'll start the second lap. And let's watch that Cosworth. Morris is gonna turn on that loud pedal, and I'm sure he'll be chasing on the back of Jakes. To go on board with him.
Just one of the interesting things is that Morris doesn't have too much of an advantage over these guys. There isn't a place where he's able to just open up that throttle. You can see that the very, very short straights. So Morris definitely at a disadvantage here, where Durkee, I'm sure that he actually might start closing down Morris at the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, as you see,
turn number 6 is.
So yeah, Morris gets a little bit sideways through that downhill left-hander, but still applying the pressure to Jakes there. And Christopher makes a mistake.
That's allowed Marius and Jakes to go through. So Christopher now down into 3rd place. That is not something that we're expected to see. But obviously Christopher now feeling the pressure. Remember, we are racing. These 3 drivers will be racing for the championship at the top. And that's allowed Durkee to close up. But not only that, Shane in 5th place. He's getting a bit of a tow from Durkee.
So a fantastic battle happening here now, as Marius and Christopher now side by side going down the straight. So Marius made a slight mistake there, and that allowed Christopher to get past, but that power of the Sierra just allows him to storm straight past again. And these two battling like this will allow Jakes to slightly pull away.
You can see how tricky it is going up there through turn number 3, and not enough space for 2 cars wide. And this is what Marius would have wanted. He would have wanted to have Christopher behind him. Remember, Marius has 5 points to make up on Christopher. But now as they go through turn number 5, this is where it's going to get very tricky. Side by side through turn number 6. Marius just about sliding it all the way out, which allows Christopher to tighten that lineup and move in ahead of Marius through turn number 6.
So some good racing there from those two. Managed to avoid from hitting each other. That's what we want to see. Good, clean, competitive racing. And if you look behind them, Durkee's now close right on to the back of this battle.
And also see that Slight Pete and Gerard, they are down in 8th and 9th place. They're also having their own little battle there. But interesting to see Gerard. He was all the way down. Remember, we saw him do that fantastic roll, hitting the tyre wall on the outside of turn number 1. So he's starting to move himself up the order. And I'm sure it will only be just a matter of time before Gerard gets himself ahead of Pete.
Yeah, Gerard's having a bit of a tough race. So compared to his previous races, he's been up there in the top 5 majority of this championship. So this track proving to be a little bit more challenging than others that we have raced on before. But him and Pete are having a great battle as well.
There we go. Gerard will try to go around the outside here as they go down the dip to turn 3. This is going to put him on the inside to 3A. So a great maneuver there for Gerard, but taking a little bit too much curb. He's not going to be able to tuck it on the inside, but Pete allows the space, knowing that he would be there. But now Pete still holds that lead going into turn number 5. And we see that we have Bruno Kadili, who's joined us, saying, good to see the fellas still at it. Bruno, great to have you. Guys, at least I can now start skimming through some of the messages. Those showing your support. Look at that, a great drive out there for Gerard. Now going to be side by side as they go into that braking zone. Hard on the brakes into turn number 7. Gerard around the outside. Great maneuver there for him.
Fantastic drive there.
We
Good
just jump
overtake.
back to first and second. Christopher in second place. He's putting a lot of pressure on Jake's, his fellow teammates, for the Green Mambas out in front. And you can see starting to pull a gap away from Morris. So just over 2 seconds is the gap there now.
Yeah, so Marius has dropped back 2 seconds. So I wonder if he made a slight mistake then. That allowed for Christopher to get past. Or perhaps he was pushing a little bit too hard. Or even the tyres are starting to go off. I mean, that Sierra is sliding around the circuit almost like a drifting vehicle. And you can see that Durkee and Shane are closing on the back of Marius. So I think he's definitely battling with the tyres there.
I did catch up with Morris before the race, and he did say that it's going to be a very similar thing. But specifically on this, and just in terms of the tyres, needing to keep them nice and warm. The track temperature is just about 38 degrees, so it's not too hot. And he was concerned about the straight line speed not being able to help him out here.
Yeah, no advantage, unfortunately, with the little straights here on this track this evening. As we watch Jakes gets slightly out of shape there. Christopher now in the lead and starting to pull a gap of a second already. So it looks like everybody's settled down now. I just want to jump back to 8th position. So a good battle going on here between is a Memo on the back of Sly Pete there, and right behind him, oh, that looked like Marshall having an absolute nightmare of a race. That's the second time he's gone off this evening. That's dropped him way back into 12th position.
Yeah, so that's coming down out of turn number 6. Man, once that rear starts sliding and you don't catch it, unfortunately, you do have that wall on the inside already and waiting for you.
So I'll jump back here to Durkee, and he's closing on Marius now. So showing what that BMW can do in these tricky conditions. And sometimes the fastest doesn't always win, and that's proof right here. A lighter vehicle, not as much horsepower, but he's able to keep it straight and accurate.
See, Memo's also now starting to close up on the back of Pete. They're now within 0.4 of a second of each other. So Memo really starting to apply that pressure. Pete gets it a little bit sideways, coming out of turn number 7. Again, Memo taking a much tighter line. Pete sliding that car as it comes through. And they do seem like they are starting to get a little bit of pressure from Alex behind. Memo really attacking that curb coming out of turn number 8. Now we'll see hard on the brakes here. Turn number 9A. No lock up there for Memo. Pete looks like he ran a little bit deep. That means Memo's going to get the drive on much quicker than Pete. Let's see if they learned from Richard. See, Richard was just about sneaking that inside corner. As Pete runs wide, that's going to allow Memo to move up. Great opportunity there for Memo, and he takes it with open arms. That now moves Memo up into 7th position.
So just behind him, Alex now closing on to Pete. So you want a piece of this action as well. The two teammates side by side as they go through.
That was close.
That was very close.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the sense that Pete is not feeling comfortable with his car at all. As you can see now, that Alex looks like he moved to the inside of Memo coming through turn number 5. Memo saw him coming, so Memo will have to let him go. Or will he go through the inside here? Turn number 6, they go side by side through turn 6. That's great commitment and great trust between those two. Alex looks like he might have run a bit wide while Pete goes off. But Memo, he wins that race coming out of turn 6. He will now go into turn 7 ahead of Alex. So great racing between the two. They gave each other the space, which allows this close racing.
Again, some outstanding racing that we've seen. Both drivers giving each other enough space. And Alex looks like he's found some pace towards the end of this race. So let's see if he can keep applying that pressure. But Memo is keeping him honest and not allowing him to come past.
I can see that Shane's going to start getting a little bit of pressure from Cadot in place. So Shane currently in 5th. You can see Cadot now 0.7 seconds across the line. Shane made a mistake here. It's a 150 for Shane and a 143 for Cadot. So he's not quite far with Morris's time. So
yes.
in the next race, Cadot will be able to get himself up there. Then Morris is going to have not only a dirt behind him, but Cadot as well.
I wonder if Gerard wasn't able to get some practice laps in, because this track requires a bit of practice, and now he's just getting to hang of the circuit and able to put in those good times. And he's right on the back of Shane now, so this is starting to turn out to be a great battle. As he goes to the inside, let's hope. Nope, he thinks about it. It's not close enough in the minute.
I believe that Cadot is good for this track. Because every time you say, Cadot, what track do you want to ride? I promise you now, you would say Sonoma.
So as we say that Shane goes wide, and that allows for Gerard to go past. So quite an easy pass there. Now he'll be chasing down Durkee, who was a second slower on their previous lap. But now, because of these guys battling, that would give him a slightly more advantage. Gerard will carry on pushing. But he's got almost 7 seconds to close that gap on Durkee. So back to the front.
Can happen a little mistake. All of a sudden, that's 3 seconds. And you've got another Mercedes-Benz in your rear bumper. A little mistake comes in, and then guess what? It's going to be a position change.
Absolutely. So this battle up front, we've got Christopher and Jakes, and Christopher hasn't really been able to get away from Jakes. So Jakes has been keeping the pressure and not making this race too easy for his teammate. But it's good to see the Green Mambas dominating once again, with Morris in 3rd position. Fourth position we have Durkee in the nimble BMW. And it looks like he's just on a Sunday drive. He's just basically taking it easy, calm, not sliding around too much, not locking up at all, just having a good clean race. But on the other hand, we have Gerard now, who's probably pushing as hard as he can. to catch Durkee in front, but that gap has now increased to, well, it's just come down slightly there. It looked like he was, it's actually just stayed the same there. So just by that consistent driving by Durkee in front and not pushing the car too much, he's able to maintain their position.
Yeah, you can see that Gerard definitely driving very aggressive. Ooh, there's Dirk all of a sudden behind Marius. So I'm wondering whether Marius is up a bit of trouble now. You can see Durkee driving that curb on the inside of turn number 6. And it's just amazing how that little BMW, I say little BMW, this is an M3 that we're talking about, but how that little BMW just hugs that inside corner, coming out of turn number 6, just rolls out onto the curb on the outside. Just looks so much more comfortable than Morris currently is.
Well, compared to that Sierra in front of it, you know, that Sierra looks like a bus compared to that M3.
Ooh. A little bit of curb that would have just pushed Durkee a little wide. Durkee able to use the ABS in the BMW, remembering that the Cosworth does not have the ABS, it does not have traction control, nor does the BMW, but that Cosworth, I'm telling you, that thing spins all the way up to 4th gear.
Absolutely. If I go back to the front, we've got Jakes applying pressure to Christopher again.
Because it's Jakes who is 15 points behind Christopher overall and 10 points behind Marius. So as they currently stand, what would happen is that Marius would drop down into 3rd place. I think would be just about 1 point between them.
Sure, so we're going to have an interesting last race of the season.
So
that's what we want to see.
I will be doing the calculations once this race is finished. I don't want to get too many hopes up just yet, but once this heat is done, I'll do the calculations and give everybody a quick view of where we're currently sitting. So guys, if you are on the stream and you are watching, just give us a message. Let us know that you are there. And if you are liking what you're seeing, give the video likes. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please feel free to do so. Or if you are watching on Facebook, give our page a like and you will be notified of any races coming soon. And we do have some interesting announcements that will be coming through this week, so please do keep watching those pages. And we will be racing soon as Durkee runs wide, coming out of turn number 8. It's the second time he's done that. I think he might have learned from the curb, but now just allowing that car to run a little bit wider.
And then also shouts out to our sponsors, VX Gaming, Deliver My Parcel, and NESCOM Executive RT for your support through this championship. Thank you so much, guys. And if you want to find out more about those companies, please check out below or on our Facebook page or even on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, guys, we do put all the links to all our sponsors in the description, and please do support the brands that support SARCO. They are the ones that makes this all possible. So this will be the final lap, and it's now for Durkee to try and get himself around Marius. It's the Marius and Durkee just about doing the same laps the last lap round.
So I'm just going back to Gerard, and he's managed to close that gap to 2 seconds to Shane. So good job for him there, but unfortunately he just ran out of time. As we watch the front leaders come around the last chicane for the last time.
Jakes is pushing as hard as he can to try and catch Christopher.
He definitely wins those points.
So SARC 642, thank you for joining us. Your first time joining us at SARCO. Welcome. We do try and bring the greatest racing action as Christopher crosses the line in first place with Jakes in second. Morris will be able to keep Durkee just away from him. Less than a second, however. Durkee in fourth place. Shane, a great result there for him in fifth position. And managed to keep Gerard away. Gerard in sixth place with Alex in seventh. Memo in eighth place. Great result there for him. Pete, he wasn't able to get that place back over Memo. So Pete will finish in ninth place. His teammate Pierre in 10th. Marshall in 11th. Troy in 11th place. And Stephen down in 13th position.
So a good solid race there for the top three drivers, Christopher, Jakes and Marius. And here comes Pete finishing up in 9th. Just wasn't able to get connected with this track today. So hopefully in the next race he'll be able to improve his position. As well as this poor guy who's had an absolute nightmare of a race, going off in the first corner, and then again late in the race he had spun again and nursed that car home to 11th position.
So Ashley, I think while the guys get ready, I don't know if you're just going to be able to ask them if they can just set themselves up in the lobby so they can get themselves into the starting positions.
Sure.
Let's just get those final results update just so that we have them on the stream. And while you're doing that, I'm going to be quickly getting some points together and start making some
Guys,
calculations.
Yeah, just make note of your positions, please. Nice one, mate.
While we're waiting for the start of heat number 2 here in the Alpha tier, is just so that you know, we will be starting our new season number 4 coming up in the next 3 weeks' time. So the 24th of August will be when we kick off season 4 on the Monday night. So it will be the sprint races. We do have some very exciting formats that we're currently working on, as well as for a Wednesday night, we are going to be offering a Seta Corsa on the PlayStation, starting for our 8-week championship, starting on that Wednesday, the 26th, with our open setup Premier League on Thursday, the 27th. Those weeks will be the qualifiers, followed by a 8-week championship to follow on. So guys, just keep your eyes and ears on our social medias, on the Discord. We will be updating you as we go. We have been just wrapping up some sponsorship deals so that we can keep this racing happening, keep everybody entertained, and we will be able to launch those within the next 3 weeks. So don't forget, while we don't have the championship racing, there will be some racing happening in the interim.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm certainly excited about the Assetto Corsa. I did some laps around Kyle Army this weekend after just downloading the game, and man, it is the next level. Just sitting in the car, listening to the sound as you go through the different cars. Man, oh man, those cars sound like absolute beasts. And I'm looking forward to to racing the guys on a set of Corsa next championship.
Yeah, so what I actually did is we raced with the guys from Sonic Sim Racing. So that was Nizbacks and the guys. So Dirk, he has his league that they believe that they're going to be starting on a Thursday. But we do want to try and see if we can't get them together. But we joined them for a special event on a Saturday. It was a 3-hour race, and I decided to take the Aston Martin to try something new. That'll get that car going. So unfortunately, only got a 143. Jumped into the Porsche this afternoon just before we got into here, and I managed to do a 140.5. So definitely chose the wrong car.
That's insane. Well, I think my best I did in a Datsun GTR. Sorry, that's a GTR. Was a 142, but that was just on a standard setup, and I'm just getting used to the car. But as I said, it's just like another level of racing, isn't it? I mean, for some reason, I just feel more connected. You feel almost a lot more realistic. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to spending some more time behind the seat of those cars.
So guys, while the guys are just doing their outtake, for those who have just joined us, and I'm not quite sure why we're not commentating on the race, this is the formation that the guys have just been getting themselves into position, because they do start the race when they finish the previous one. Just a quick update on my calculations. I'm very professional and notepad. Christopher now will see himself on 327 points. That's 14 points now clear of Marius. And Jakes was able to gather himself an additional 4 points. So Jakes is now only 6 points behind Marius. Unfortunately, Christopher now opening the gap between himself and Marius to 14 points. So it is still going to be anyone's race. If Christopher spins out for any reason and does not finish on the top, he could still not be the champion.
And I'm sure that's in the back of his mind, and he'll be thinking, Jakes, just go easy behind me, please, mate.
So if you're in this position, what do? Go for what? Try to take it safe.
You go for the win. I mean, you don't have much option. You got two drivers behind you. You're basically going to be pushing you the entire race for that position. And we saw Jakes in the previous race was applying major pressure to Christopher. So let's see now as they roll towards the start finish line.
So here we go. We're racing the final race of our is 3 here at Sonoma in 2020, and a lot cleaner as this time round. That is currently in place. But Jakes, Marius, and Christopher sliding up, going through turn number 2. Now down the hill, turn number 3. You'll see some of the guys staying with the curve. Marius deciding to jump that curve on the exit there. Just saw Carrot doing that earlier on. That seemed to like that line. And then as the crowd turned out, as you join that little link up there, and that can definitely a little car does make it very, very interesting.
So a good clean start from everybody. Oh, and then Christopher goes slightly wide, and that's allowed Jakes to close on. He goes into the inside, and you'll have the better line there, and that's given the position to Jakes.
Whoa.
But Christopher fights back, and Jakes gives him a lot of room there, almost too much room. And allows
the coming through the exit of turn number 7, which now is the reason why Jakes are trying to tighten up and put it on the outside as they turn left and going towards turn number 8.
So Jakes leading in this first lap after Christopher making that small mistake Let's see now what happens with Marius if he's able to catch the back of these guys through this tight section here. Whoa, sideways for Marius.
That was yes, that's right there.
Yeah, great racing. Yeah, I just want to shoot back to Durkee, who's watching this battle ahead of him, and he's just probably waiting for somebody
moving to the inside.
He's got him.
Well, a lot. That was more check coming out of.
Oh, Durkee!
Turkey's slammed it for me. Just not able to catch that rear. Just so that now allows Alex to right we see Shane up into so Shane.
And I won't be surprised to see Gerard on the back of Shane very shortly. And Shane's not too far off the front leaders.
Cameron, just we are in lots of so
there you go.
Current first place, second. Morris, Shane fourth, Carol fifth, Key is sixth place, Alex is seventh, IPT in eighth. Then it is now finishing 13th place last place. He's up into our Pierre, he's in 10th. Marshall in Memo in 12th place. In 13th is Christopher going a little bit sideways in the link up number 4 as we hit down the hill. Now down into turn number 6. He broke with getting that very, very small as they get that power down. Christopher out.
Whoa. Yes,
that was close.
Bit of a tank slapper there as he comes through that downhill left-hander, and they go through this sideways section. I think I'm gonna call that sideways. The sideways.
It's essentially good, Seb.
So they head down to the chicane.
Out of turn 8 now, to go to turn number 9. But I'm so surprised Morris right behind the guy. I'm just hoping that he's able to cut away and make it more hard.
Well, you see Jax is going very defensive, trying to keep Christopher behind him, and that's allowed Marius to catch him or keep behind them. And he's just waiting for these guys to make a mistake. And you'll see Shane not too far behind, and that just shows you the pace. Shane did a 142 on that last lap, and that's the same sort of pace of the front runners. So clearly the Jakes and Christopher battle is just backing up the pack a bit. But a fantastic battle from these two. Great respect between these two drivers, and managed to keep each other very close together but not bumping, which is always great to see.
And I know we want to see this action, but there's also so much action happening further down. It's exactly what I was looking at. It is Alex starting to close up on Durkee, or Durkee using that rear coming out of the exit of turn number 6.
Damn it!
This time
looks like
outside 30. So that means Durkee will be down in 7th place. But now we can have to jump back to Christopher as he now goes up to first place. Make goes back into first. So they're trading places as they come to be turn number 3. You can see Jakes, Christopher.
This is a fantastic battle going on here. Whoa! But so is Christopher there.
Deep there on the brake road.
And these guys know they're fighting for the championship. we go into the final corner.
The rears of the car, both Jake's efforts just sliding that car around. And it's Gerard. He's not involved in this one. You can see Gerard did a 1:51.6. So Gerard, fastest on the track. But he's putting a lot of change. And if the guy Marius
Yeah, as I was saying, the first race, it looked like he was still trying to work his way out on the track. He was just trying to find that good rhythm, and in the second race, where it's showing that he's able to put those fast laps in, closing that gap ever so slightly on Shane and the rest of the bunch ahead. As they go into this slidey righty. I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on, because you just hanging out there when you go through that corner and put down the power, the car just slides through. Flick to the left and right as they go down into this little chicane.
we see we've actually got content behind us. Saying a hard coconut BMW.
Hello Connor, isn't it past your bedtime?
Well,
Just kidding.
we're allowed to get music without the options in the cut after the better. So a great shot that was Chris chasing Jake.
Sorry.
And we jump back down to Shane.
So these
Just
two
close
side by side, yeah.
And I can't believe how much of the outside curve that Christopher is driving. That this car is kicking up dust just about every corner he's exiting, trying to find every single inch of this track.
Absolutely. Very close racing here between the two green members. And you've got Boris in third position, still keeping within a second of this battle in front. And I'm just waiting for Gerard to start closing in.
Actually, can we just jump down to Lance place, please? I know that
There you go.
I just saw that Marshall was closing up. And as we look at Marshall, it's probably inside curve on 2.6. So that amount of that attack we had on the back here. So we can jump back to the front once again. 0.2 seconds first and second. Then Amara was in that second. Then another second back. It was the chain for the I didn't see. Looks like a little tag on the back there. What happened? Power down.
And you can see Christopher was just flashing his lights, saying sorry to Jakes, I imagine. Or maybe, how's your father?
Get out of the way. So, I'm hoping the SA8 is 640. Guys in front are on a wheel. The only driver a lot of and generally a thrust master 300 or 21. But that's hard, but I thought having up get into the it's Morris having a look, they've decided not to use his nose. Works on and get on the brakes. Next run wide. You see he was holding outside, puts it on the inside on the extra turn 7. And a straight line through turn and upgrade. Now he will turn right to turn 8A. Then hard on the brake, turn 9. Both Jake's go off. Jake's growth on the inside.
Sure, with 5 minutes left on the clock, Jakes is making that Merc as wide as possible, and Christopher is just not able to get past, and he's pushing it as hard as he can without bumping his teammate, trying to be as polite as possible but as aggressive at the same time. And on their
they're racing close, but they're
Yep.
perfect. The epitome of what I'd race too hard, but I'm too perfect. And this is what happened. This is the outcome.
Absolutely. She's sideways through that corner with Jakes. Let's
And
slow him
Shane
down a little bit.
Should just closing the gap. There's kind of closing that gap with Shane. So absolutely fantastic there. For a second, it's like you won.
Oh no!
It is so-
Seconds! And Jakes as well! And a massive...
It was kind of
That was very unlucky. So both Jakes and Christopher and Gerard in the wall.
yo.
That was a bit unfortunate. So that's pushed Shane up into second position. So he was just waiting for that, watching it from behind. And can say the same for Marius. He was watching that battle, and unfortunately the guys just got too close, and their teammates took each other out, and that's very unfortunate. So Jake's right back into 7th position now. His car is seriously damaged, and with 3 minutes left on the clock, unfortunately I think he's going to retire. There's no ways that he can finish the race with that car in such poor condition.
Was that? So it was the
So I think it was
being involved with it. So crazy.
That's not unfortunately that's not what we wanted to see, but that has allowed Marius now the opportunity to pull away, and all he needs to do now is just nurse it home. He doesn't need to go too crazy. He's going to be watching those tires, keeping consistent. There's still quite a gap between him and Christopher in 4th position, so that'll make this championship a whole lot more interesting.
I can't even wait. I don't even know.
I was just wondering now, because that could possibly moving up to 2nd on the championship if he finishes in this position, and Christopher is in 3rd. We'll have to tally it up at the end of the race and let you all know. But unfortunate events there for Christopher, both Christopher and Jakes.
Look,
And Jakes is they
was
were
just a little touch, and unfortunately, because everyone was so close to the down, he was involved. Then unfortunately, Pierre, who would have a few corners later on, he would have come down the complete blind and found himself quite body.
so Christopher.
Working too badly for his 5th place, but now Christopher had a lot of pressure from Alex, so it's like Alex might be able to take this place away from Christopher, which will drop him down to 4th.
Well, there's still 30 seconds left on the clock. And I think there will just be one more lap.
No, I think they would.
No.
I think this would be it.
Yeah. So let's just jump back on board on Alex. And I think Christopher will manage to hang on to that final podium position. So Morris comes over the line in first position. So emphatic win there for him, followed by Shane, who gets a nice podium in second position. And Christopher going home on the third on the podium with Alex right behind him. And a good solid fifth position for Durkee. And unlucky for Gerard, who's doing so well catching those front runners. He's dropped one place back into sixth position after they're coming together with Jakes and Christopher. He finishes it in sixth position, followed by a much better race from Marshall, who finishes in seventh after starting way back down on the grid. In eighth position we have Memo, followed by Sly Pete, Pierre coming home, just ahead of Pete there in 10th position, and Stephen way down 11th position. Looks like he had a bit of a off on that race, and that's unfortunately putting right at the back of the field. And Jakes, who's got into the pits, managed to repair the car. He's way down in 12th.
So actually, I think let's just get three podium sitters. So Morris, Shane, and Christopher. We'll get Jackson as well, just so that we can round off the season.
Roger that.
That was absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, guys, we have everybody here. So all I can say, guys, last race, holy coconuts is all I can say.
Yeah, well, that's all I can say too. Okay, goodbye.
Obviously, you see the guys in front having a crazy battle. You see the things going down, and you just take it close to open arms.
Oh, we can't hear you, Shane.
Shane, just check it.
Sorry.
There we go.
Yeah, Dylan. I saw it happening all in front of me. I was just keeping consistent. I thought, yes, if I just stay there, maybe someone will make a mistake, and it did. So yeah, I'm happy. Christopher, that's bad, man. Yeah, I saw it happen all in front of me, but good race. I'm happy. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. And let's start with you, Jakes. So unfortunately, you understand that in terms of the championship, where you now finished overall, an absolute fantastic battle between yourself and Christopher. Christopher, is your shirt off?
Absolutely.
It's a yellow card.
This is a family show.
I'm just but I don't want the people to run away from
No, I'm not showing off anything that's not allowed to be seen, so it's all right.
Okay, 100%. So, Jax, you were actually able to close up with like 5 points on Marius going into the last race. So if you had finished ahead of him, that would have obviously put you second overall for the championship. So unfortunately, this now drops you down to third. But an absolute great race. You had Christopher adding so much pressure on the rear of that last race. Just take us through it.
Yes, first race, awesome. Second race, awesome as well. We unfortunately just had that coming together. It's racing. You know what happens. Coconuts happens. And but very well done to Christopher there. I know that he wouldn't do that on purpose. So I'm still happy with my podium finish on the championship. So that is good enough for me. As long as the Green Mambas came first as a team, then I'm extremely happy. Good racing there by Marius and yeah, and good luck. Congratulations to Marius there as well for coming second in the championship. I don't know yet if maybe he's first. I don't know.
Yeah, so close. I've got no idea.
We were doing the calculations as the race were going. We had to. We wanted to see what was going on. But then to you, Marius, unfortunately missing the championship by 5 points.
Yes.
So we've had 16 heats, differentiated by 5 points. That's all it came down to. Jakes, unfortunately, you did drop down 31 points behind. But nevertheless, still a great effort there in the end. Morris?
I enjoyed this championship thoroughly. Thanks a lot, Darren.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
Pleasure,
Jackson. Morris, you decided to take the Cosworth round in the beginning. You understood it would be an absolute handful. And then you go, you slot it right between the numbers.
Yeah, no, as long as I could put myself in between them, okay, awesome. Okay, it was a great championship. It's a pity I pushed too hard in the first race to stick with them because the pace was just phenomenal, and then I made a mistake, so I lost the gap to them. I just couldn't keep up. It was, and then I had pressure from Dirkie at the end of that race, so it was quite exciting. But the second race was absolutely phenomenal. That battle between us until you guys touched was just awesome. I'm going to watch it now. It must have looked great. But thanks, I haven't had a good championship and good close racing like this in a long. It was absolutely awesome. Thank you. That 5 points difference doesn't even matter. It's so nice to race against you guys.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much. Great.
Congratulations, Christopher.
Thanks,
Christopher, double champion. Not only in the Formula Renaults, the perfect score there, but also here in the VX Gaming Group A. But you definitely had your work cut out for this one.
Firstly, I just want to apologize to my teammate for the contact in the second race. He should have taken that one. I had all sorts of pressure coming from Marius, and coming around there, I had good drive, and I knew that if I didn't use the drive, Marius was coming past me. And up ahead, we had another back marker, so there was quite a lot of chaos at the moment. And Small Touch ended up in absolute disaster for him, so I'm really sorry about that. But to the rest of the drivers and to Marius, for driving that Ford all season long and being there, being with us, giving us a hard time every single race. Well done. You really deserve it. And yeah, thanks to everyone for organizing it. It's an absolute pleasure to race against all of you guys. And can't wait to carry on doing this.
No,
Flat
awesome.
out.
Well,
Thanks, man.
Was awesome.
in
Man.
true Christopher style, flat out. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Before we do wrap up, I just
Cheers, bye, Shane.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Shane. Cheers, what?
Cheers,
Bye.
so just some thank yous that do need to go out. I do need to start off with Stephen Darge, who we definitely dropped him in the hot box. He came in, joined us specifically to help with the commentary through the season. So, Stephen, thank you very much for joining me. To Ashley, who essentially became our guest commentator, thank you so much for your assistance and your help. We also then had Theo, Jacques, Carl, and Ernest who joined us. Appreciate you guys coming and helping us out with the commentary, seeing what SARCO is all about. So thank you very much there. To all the drivers supporting SARCO, thank you so much for choosing to race with us. This has now become a community. We can see what's happening just in terms of camaraderie within the drivers all the way down. Yes, we have had some incidences, but it hasn't been malicious. The guys enjoy the racing, and that's why we keep doing it. We do expect you to keep driving hard, keep driving safe, and keep driving with respect. We can't ask for any more than that. Then to Ross and Christopher, my backup lobby creators, as well as Ashley, who has helped once again. Thank you very much for helping getting the league shows nice and smooth, getting us in, getting the lobbies ready just to help with the setup. And then lastly, personal thank you to Ashley with all the help that you've done with NASCAR Executive IT, the hosting of our website. Not only that, but that SARCO is officially a SARCO Racing PTY, and we have brought Ashley on as our technical director. So Ashley, thank you and welcome as part of the bigger SARCO team. Then lastly, to our sponsors, to Avi and Stephen from VX Gaming, and thank you for your past contribution. To the guys that have finished up on the championships, we will be making contact with you. We do have a prize for you to say thank you very much for supporting us. To NASCAR, I have mentioned actually before the hosting of our website. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then to Malcolm from Delivery of Parcel. The Delivery Parcel are officially the courier for SARCO, and then all the prizes that we will be delivering will be going through Delivery of Parcel. And guys, as I mentioned before, we'll be racing again from the week of the 24th of August when we start a season number 4 of SARCO. We will be releasing the tracks and all the information in the next coming weeks, but watch out for the fires coming soon. And guys, until then, all I can say is keep racing. Ashley, do you have anything to say?
So I just want to say thank you, Dylan, for all your time and effort that you put in through this whole season. Even in the time when you weren't feeling your 100%, you still managed to contribute. And I want to thank you for making this all possible for us.
Only a pleasure. Scott, cheers, guys. Okay. Like I said, just keep watching our social media, check out Facebook, YouTube. We'll keep updating you on all the information that's coming. And until then, thanks for watching. Yos.